This young troll stands in his respite block. It just so happens that today, the 22nd bilunar perigee of the third dark season's equinox, is the day of this indicated troll's larval awakening, also known as his wriggling day, a night that stands out in infamy among the rest of the litter, mainly due to the fact it does not really need to exist. Though it was 8 solar sweeps ago he was given life, and also 8 sweeps ago he was given a name, he decides to let you think of an effortless insult in one of those plates that appear whenever you attempt to name someone, as is customary for this planet's usual birthing rituals. He can sense that the tips of your nubs are perspiring with anticipation at such an idea. Go on and get it over with. Enter name. Yes, this is most certainly the greatest jab in the history of all universes. This guy congratulates you on how original you are for coming up with an insult that even a Wriggler's pre-osmosis think-pan could easily conjure in a matter of seconds. Alright, he's giving you one more chance to not ruin this, though he highly doubts the odds of said chance stand in his favor. Try again. What do you know? He was completely right. In fact, he was more than right. That was even worse than your original attempt. How is that even possible? Let's just move on to identifying his real name before you embarrass yourself any further. Your name is Arcjec Voorat. As was previously mentioned, it is your wriggling day. It's not something you feel needs to be celebrated, or that anyone else does for that matter. These arbitrary dates are nothing but depressing reminders of past mistakes. Always there to drive home the fact that no matter what, you have no option but to continue to live with the weight of your actions, sweep after sweep, with no recourse. Your planet's population isn't very big on the concept. It's just not something to bring up in polite conversation. Unlike most trolls your age, or even trolls of an earlier age, you don't have many hobbies. Not every troll around can end up being some sort of prodigy, alright? Not to mention, the few things that you are interested in aren't exactly considered productive means of time usage. You could even say that you're often quite lazy. In the past, you enjoyed reading stories of masked vigilantes and watching various forms of 2D fiction. This used to lead to bouts of artistically inclined scribbling, but you aren't all that interested in doing those things anymore, for unspecified reasons. You also drink copious amounts of Mountain Dew Code Red. So copious, in fact, that you might even be able to label it as an addiction. Drinking this stuff isn't something that you're proud of, but it gets the job done. You don't take much part in talking to your 11 other friends, even though they constantly take part in pestering you on that new chat system, Scorp. Yeah, there really isn't much more to say about you. Your troll tag is Animated Humorist, and whilst your screen name and quirk are sort of really awkward now, you've left them alone. They also manage to be quite hypocritical considering the fact that you speak in a rather serious tone most of the time. Right now, you don't have anything you need to be doing. You should probably come up with something though. You're already getting tired of just standing in this spot and blankly staring at the other side of the room. What will you do? Arcjec, pick up all of this trash on your floor. Are you referring to all the cans of Code Red? In that case, you're completely mistaken about them being trash. If there was such a thing as an objective measurement of quantifiable wrongness separated by levels, you'd be on the highest one of them all. You're wrong in every sense of the definition, of which there are many. You're wrong so many times. Well, you guess the ones laying down are just haphazardly tossed back as you have finished them, and the ones standing up are finished too, actually. However, you have intentionally left a couple of them marinating for a while near your desk, in case some sort of hurried, caffeinated emergency presents itself. The balls of paper are actually trash though. Maybe you'll pick them up later, if you feel like it. Maybe. Arcjec, look at posters. You used to think that those two were some of the biggest badasses who ever not lived. Batman and Deadpool were your favorites back when you were younger. You haven't read any of their issues in a very long time. Around 2 sweeps or so, to be more specific. You always used to fantasize about how amazing it would be to have superpowers, or a special array of technology as great as theirs. In retrospect, it wasn't really the most well-planned of aspirations. It can never have happened, and will never happen, because this is real life, and that's not how things work in the real world, which harbors real life. Although, as you gaze at their tightly suited splendor, you can't help but once again wonder what things would have been like if you had, say, the powers to always miraculously survive, even the most brutal of murder scenarios, or if you could fly. But that's all in the past now. Why you still keep these up, you have no clue. Arcjec, stack up the code red cans and plow through them like a skull titan. Ha ha ha! Not gonna happen. You cannot believe you even thought about that. Despite how quote-unquote fun it may dubiously end up being, you can't afford to be silly right now. Meandering around your block and looking at all of your old junk while sulking is much more important than your own entertainment. Arcjec, overdramatically turn and glare at the picture on your dartboard. You slowly turn your head around in order to look at the appalling box printed out on your dartboard. Where can you even begin with this abhorrent monstrosity some would dare call food? It's a large exaggeration away from the truth. A detestably enormous miscalculation on their part. Vast, even. Usually, food tends to be the least of your worries. Your species has an affinity for sustaining themselves on various mishmashes of carbo-loaded artificiality. But if you ever again tried to process something like pizza and treatza, there would be vomit on the ground. It would be plain incomprehensible just how much vomit would come to exist on your floor. You would barf out every last organ you have sitting inside you. You're getting tired of looking at that picture on the dartboard. It's not tired of looking at you, though. It never is. You're just gonna have to... show it who runs things around here! You have effectively shown it who runs things around here. It should know better than to try challenge you, but you are aware that it'll always stay pinned there, staring at you, awaiting the next battle. Prepared, time and time again, certain of its defeat, but triumphant and persistent enough that it thinks it'll get past you without so much as one more dart in its ugly mug. In a way, you feel as if it always has some form of victory over you, each time you two duel. A shallow yet painful victory. It holds the most pleasure of having already beaten you, but it is too modest to let you know. Not that you actually took the time to throw anything, that was all in your imagination. Arcjec, look at the book on top of your thermal hull.
Huh?
It's really nothing worth looking at. There's no need to go back there. Something happened. And just what could that be? Whatever it is, it's totally almost turned off your inner monologue. Can you believe the nerve of some trolls out there? I mean, seriously, what is up with this society? They think they can just do whatever they... Okay, monologue restored. You can go investigate now. Arcjec, investigate Plink.
Huh?
After a thorough and intricate peek at the scene, you come to the conclusion that the Plink very much means death. Arcjec, scream! Arcjec, get up and hide under your desk. Arcjec, get interrupted from hiding. Oh, so close. Phase 1, screaming and running around anxiously, was complete. It's the only logical start to any brilliant plan. Phase 2, the final phase, was going to be hiding for several hours and pretending to be dead. This is an act you can put on, quite effectively, but it's not really needed at this point. You're already feeling dead enough without giving in to the whims of zany, spur-of-the-moment ideas. Plus, it appears that one of your pesky chat fodder buddies have been patiently lying in wait for a response that you were elated to not have give. Not that there's anything forcing you to respond to the message, but as we've seen, things only get worse when you keep to your own devices. You're just that lucky. Given that your untimely demise is now imminent, you suppose it wouldn't hurt to have someone to share your final moments with, would it? Even if it has to be this windbag. Arcjec, examine computer. Before you answer, you take a short moment to move the junk off your desk, grab your keyboard, and examine your computer. You've spent many a lifeless hour sitting here and doing absolutely nothing. It's actually pretty great. Until things start happening, then it's not. Much like the rest of your spaces, your desktop has various old pictures and files scattered wherever. You make sure to cover the screen so you don't ever have to see them. Your virtual hive keeping is further impeded by the fact that, over sweeps of carelessly browsing the web, you have accumulated quite the number of nasty viruses. You get fake advertisements for products you didn't win on a nearly constant basis. The Scorp chat client is open. Truth be told, that thing is laden with its fair share of complicated strings, broken code walls, and completely whack update schedule that doesn't seem to affect anything one way or the other. The main draw lies in the fact that despite being clunky at best, it is remarkably customizable. For starters, it allows for variations of online status. Cloying, Forstraught, Calcitrant, and Incognizable are the 4 regular settings. But there's a sizable array of more esoteric emotion-like displays, if one were so inclined. Scorp users can also decorate the program with various alliterative themes relating to various hobbies and interests. From the trivial to the obscure, anything you could possibly think of is there, somewhere. Even the ones who arguably shouldn't exist in the first place. You, however, keep the built-in systematic stock theme, because these idiotic bells and whistles do nothing for you. You are set to Calcitrant at all times, which effectively mutes all notifications. You refuse to be subjected to the unruly din of a ping with every single message. Your system also delivers a blunt, professional and automatic note to any and all parties who attempt to contact you. Though, as always, that doesn't deter this one from chatting it up with you. Or any of the others, for that matter. This is a good enough time to give in, since it may very well be your last chance to walk away from social interaction on the right foot. Only, it won't be. Arcjec, answer troll.
Hey.
Animated humorist, AH, isn't here. He isn't. He's gone and it says not to bother him right by his name, the red dot whatchamacallit. You know the one? Of course you do. And you message him anyways. What's wrong with you?
Man, I know you're there. You, literally never go anywhere. At all. Ever. Psst. Psst. Gonna run out of breath psting you. Psst. There you go. Come on. I got a real important question for you. You can't just do me like this.
I'm pretty sure I not only can do that to you, but almost always do that to you.
Oh good. There you are. I was starting to get as sad as you normally sound. Woof.
I think my text will continue to speak for itself here. Do me a favor and imagine an absurdly dragged out and coarse voice for this situation. That voice will be me.
Alright.
Now imagine that same voice over my words. As soon as you're done with that, imagine that this very same rasp is much less streamlined and that my stress center is about a single hearty throb away from blowing off in your general direction, promptly thwapping your face with a load of general common sense as this next sentence runs through your blank canvas of a mind. Ahem. Leave me alone. I'm about to die, and I don't want my final memories to be of your short-spoken, minimal lung detritus.
Okay, but what about my important question? Because, I mean, it's pretty important.
It still falls in line with the short-spoken, minimalist lung detritus. Maybe with a little more phlegm and a rugged cough to go with it? Who knows? With you, there are always infinite possibilities to explore. Which to say there are sparingly few, and you're as one-dimensional as they come. Take a lesson in character before you decide to say something that's supposedly important to the big things you're playing up.
Yeah, alright, Drama Squirt, that's great and all, but Arcjec, listen.
What?
Listen.
What?
Listen.
What?
Me and UK need an extra player in our game. You should play with us.
That wasn't a question, that was a statement. Also, what game?
Anthropomunicipality. What other game would I be talking about?
That polygonal mess of... Ugh. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not going to join you, and also I don't care about you wasting your time because I'm focusing my time and my worries on my life and how it is about to get tragically cut short. By the way, The only, and I do mean only, reason I even thought to give you anywhere near this long of a response instead of a curt howdy fuck off is because I need someone to bear witness to this.
Oh, are you serious?
I would say I'm dead serious, but I'd be way too right for my own good.
I thought you were just being your usual over-the-top self. The typical pain and suffering, you know? But if you're actually totally honestly serious, you should tell me what's going on. I may live in the dark, but that doesn't mean I like being left in it. Woof.
I don't even know. There was a foreboding, death-cloaked figure who threw a sediment nugget at my window. I saw them for the span of about a nanoblink, and then they were gone. I was trying to be professional and hide under my desk until you decided to be the obtuse disturber that you are. Part of my splattered life pigment is going to be on your hands now, and I swear if they're adhesive-coated when that happens, it's going to spontaneously turn acidic.
Well, if I don't hear from you again, I'll go ahead and assume you're dead. And I'll be sure to come by and collect your body if it's still there. Make something nice out of it. No guarantees, though. If whoever's chasing you wants something to do with your corpse, I can't really help you.
Perfect. That's the most perfect thing you have ever said to me. Do me a favor, though. I know for a fact that it's not P.O., so if I do disappear into obscurity, tell her that the mutilation fairy finally granted her long-awaited wish. Anyway, I'm leaving you now regardless. Bye.
Sure, but one more thing. Real fast. Do you have any glue?
No, and if you ever knocked off the rolling around in it, you might actually keep some on hand.
Damn.
Arcjec, check the window again, just to be sure. This goes against your better instincts, but the curiosity is simply maddening. Besides, pulling up under your desk just won't be satisfying if there are no threatening parties there to bear witness to your outstanding hiding powers. Still, the Blinkster couldn't have just disappeared like that, right? There is no one there. No, that's not right. That can't be right. Disappearing like they did isn't feasible. It doesn't work that way. Where are you? Come out wherever you are. Allez, get them in plain sight. You don't care if they're here with the intent to maim or conduct some sort of sediment-based assassination attempt anymore. You just want to know what's going on. You just want to know. Why? Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong, who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Does it matter? The world turns, slow yet infinite. Time runs along in tandem, although it never seems to bring anything concrete with its consistent aging process. Day by day, night by night, moments replay and blur in your mind. Banshees wail in the distance, expressing their distress at the ill-intent midnight drags with its inevitable presence. Black and white moons illuminate the torment seared into their hearts and minds. Fate seems to linger, regardless of significance or happenstance. It wasn't always like this, but you wish that it was. This way, the burden would be much easier to bear. And yet, a different part of you begs on hands and knees for the old life that you once knew. The one that you can still feel lurking at the edges. You're not sure if you yearn for it because you want to relive the moments you've lost, or if you simply wish for causality to stop breathing down your neck. But wishes don't solve problems, and hoping for them only makes the dilemma more prevalent. Change seldom comes to you. Perhaps this will be the evening when you finally gather the motivation to take a step forward and seize the adjustments you've been longing for. A lone thought nestles itself in your mind, like a string connecting your life to the monotony it shares with the world surrounding you. You have a feeling that change is never going to come. Arcjec, wallow. You aren't getting up anytime soon, not after that. Perhaps it's best we move along.